rise again to glory then, soar into the sky. If you stop and see, then you just might believe. We're unstoppable, powerful, enough to beat the odds. If you love me, you will see the flames inside of me.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Seduce Me 2, the Demon War. I have nothing to complain about from you guys, so I'll just continue. Shit. September 11th, yep. What were we doing? Uh-oh. I felt insanely nervous. This entire situation was beyond my imaginations. Stuck in the demon world under two kinds of enchantments? That was unreal even for me. As Erik and I were escorted to our room, I felt the need to cling to Erik's arm like a little puppy dog or fangirl or something like that. It had been only a day since I had been taken away from the human world, but for the longest time I had the enthrallment to get close to him. Now I was freely and willingly able to hold on to Erik's arm, and I ain't letting go. I will take this arm with me if I have to. Ease off. Now, give him some space. Yeah. Cling on to his arm like it's mine. I couldn't help it. I needed to feel closer to him after all this time. Being separated was not something any bride wanted from their soon-to-be partner. Oh, he smiles. I wrapped my arm around Erik's arm, hearing him chuckle and lay a free hand over my arms lovingly.
You know, I wanted to walk down the aisle with you as your husband. I was so worried when you didn't show up to the ceremony.
That kind of made me a little sad. I feel... Holy... You know the voice acting's real when you actually feel a little sadness inside. My heart sank as I looked down. I hadn't wanted to leave him at the altar, but the demon lord had other plans. I gritted my teeth before feeling Erik's lips on my temple, causing me to look back up at him.
I know it wasn't your doing, love. Don't be upset. You weren't gone long.
I can't talk. I cannot read today. Good luck me. Not gone long? I had been in the Abyss of Plains for a full day. How was that not long? How long was I missing for? Erik rubbed his neck and looked away, a small blush forming on his cheeks.
Around 5 hours.
5 hours? I was here a full day. How does that work?
Well, time runs differently here than it does in the human world. In the time it takes for an hour to go by in the human world, 5 go by here in the demon world.
I feel like I wasted a lot of time. That's kind of weird. My mind spun slightly at the idea. Time moved differently here. I shook my head and let it go. Not gonna make a frozen plan. Why would I do that? That's been like 2 years? I don't know. At least I wasn't gone for long in the human world. What happened when you found out I was missing?
Well, your father was demanding that Sam open a missing persons investigation since he's a police officer.
That's news
Luckily,
to me.
James was able to calm everyone down, and with Irides's energy, he blocked everyone's memory and told them to return home, and the real wedding would begin later.
Sam's a police officer? Was I told this? James can do that?
Only with his wife's help. That gave us time to try to locate you. When we did, we all decided to come through to get you back.
And how exactly did you do that? I could only imagine what it had been like for all of them huddled in a room trying to find me. I felt a little flattered. But I knew that it was because they all cared about me, the wives included. I was happy that they did, and I was back with Erik at last. Brain, where did you go? Hold on, let me call my brain. Apparently it's not here today. Taking a sick day. Our walk continued until I entered my old room with Erik. Our guide left us alone, needing to prep for the rest of the day. Erik sat on the bed, ushering me to sit beside him. Like a magnet, I was drawn to him, sitting beside him. I am like a moth to a flame. It was a major relief for my mind to know that everything was going to be taken care of. It was an even larger relief to know that I could be with the man I loved in the meantime. I laid my head on Erik's shoulder as he wrapped an arm around me. Oh, little lovebirds.
Are you really okay?
Of course! No, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. I'm just under a curse. Stuck in the demon world. My wedding, I missed it. Yeah. I nodded. The only thing that was wrong with me was being trapped, but there was nothing I could do until we got to the Demon Lord. Erik seemed to know this as well and kissed over my head.
Well, at least you were no longer disgusted by me.
Oh, baby! Oh! No! Erik! I was never disgusted by you. Never. There we go. The feeling of love ran through my body as I settled into the situation. I could finally hold him and love him as I meant to instead of being cruel. It was a blessing. Erik nodded once again before hugging me softly to him, laying us back across the bed. I wrapped my arms unconsciously around him and listened to the rhythm of his breathing. Ah, so peaceful. That's a little creepy. It was slow, relaxed, which made me turn to feel at peace. Which in turn made me feel at peace. I'm talking here, Erik. Trying to fix my mistake. I know. I closed my eyes, apparently not having sex that night, letting our embrace slowly entice me to sleep. It didn't bother me that I was dressed with my boots still on. It was such a peaceful transition, I barely felt the shift between being awake and being asleep. I held Erik close to me, listening to his heartbeat. The simple... syncopation? That was a word I've never seen before. Of it filled my own heart with such joy that I could not deny the smile on my face from stretching further. Whatever held me for so long no longer had a hold on my mind and my body, allowing my heart to once again guide my actions. As I slept, however, a voice I had not heard in a while reappeared.
Why? Why did you do that?
What? Huh? Hey, it's you, little purple dude! Within the darkness of my dreams appeared a familiar purple orb, floating in the vast space. I felt once again charmed by it, but I was more confused as to why it was in my dream and why it had asked me such a question. You?
Why would you do that?
Why'd you do that? I don't know. What did I do? Do what? What are you doing here?
I don't understand.
Me neither. What are you doing here? I had to repeat myself. The orb didn't move or change, but something about looking at it made me feel unsure. Why was the spirit haunting me?
I don't understand why you like him.
Oh, the amount of times that comment has been told to me. I don't know, I just like the Playboys. Why I like Erik? Wait, was this spirit the reason why I was aggressive to Erik? I glared at the orb, suddenly putting two and two together. You were the one who made me act so cruel towards him.
He's icky! He's an icky man!
Ew, he's got cooties! Which one? Which one, Steam Guide? Doesn't matter. He's the man I love. I loved him dearly and didn't want to treat him like I did. If I was being forced, then I needed to stop the one who was forcing me.
Loving a person doesn't make them less icky.
What are you, 10? What is so icky about him?
He talks funny. He keeps touching you. He has those...
Yeah? Sex eyes?
Yeah! He's so icky! Icky!
It's called sexy is what it is.
I'm not as disgusting as you make me out to be, Spirit.
What the he- Oh great, now you're here to... My heart jumped at the sound of Erik's voice. In front of me appeared a reddish shadow which quickly formed itself into Erik. The orb seemed to pulsate at the sight of him.
Icky man!
Ouch! Who hit him in the feels then?
My name is Erik, and you are not welcome in my princess's dreams or her body.
You know what? I feel like my personal space has been invaded a little bit. I mean, you know, we sleep in the same bed together, all that jazz, but when you enter my dreams is where I draw the line. Just me drawing the line.
You're not either!
Erik! Erik looked back to me and smiled before stepping forward, making the orb back away a bit. I couldn't tell if it was the fear or anger, but the pulsing energy around the orb seemed to become larger at Erik's stare.
My duty is to protect my princess from anything that threatens her. You, rogue spirit, are considered a threat.
I'm sorry, duty. Sorry, it's the way he said that.
All you do is touch her and take her energy.
Get out of here, you weird ball thing. That's not true.
What else does the icky man do?
Stands there and looks pretty. Right? Right, Erik? I opened my mouth to retort back, but suddenly froze, feeling my thoughts escape me. For some reason, I couldn't remember anything else Erik had done except for what the spirit said. He would kiss me, hold me, and take my energy. Erik, user! This was wrong. Something was definitely wrong. Why couldn't I pin down more things Erik did for me? He did that one thing that one time where he did that one thing, yeah. I held my head and shut my eyes, trying to focus harder on my thoughts. Erik, however, stepped forward towards the orb. A group of tendrils emerging from his back. Okay, there, Kaneki, calm down.
That's enough. You don't belong here, spirit.
I expected the spirit to fight back, but it didn't say anything more. After a moment of silence, the spirit faded into darkness of the dream. Bye-bye. Erik and I both let out a small sigh of relief.
Are you okay?
Sure, great. Is there a thing? No, there's not a thing. Boop. I'm better now. Erik nodded before wrapping his arms around
I
me.
swear that I will keep you safe.
I'm sorry for not thinking of anything else you did for me. You got me a pretty ring. Ooh, you came to the demon world. It came to get me. How about that? That's a thing. The words Erik spoke resounded in my chest to make me feel light and believe every word that escaped his lips. I felt safe enough to just hear his determination. Still, I couldn't help but feel a small restlessness in my body despite being in a dream. I thought that sleeping would help my anxiousness at the situation I was in, but it only made me more worried. With this new fear in my mind, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to hold out until we defeated the Demon Lord. A spirit was really actually haunting my thoughts. This was insane, to say the least. Still, the spirit was quelled for now, at least until we found a way to expel it from my body. How do you... Exorcism. I awoke that morning before Erik, physically refreshed but mentally troubled. The event that ran through my dreams both bewildered me and scared me. How long was the spirit going to be stuck to me? A knock at the door erupted in my thoughts and woke Erik.
Who's there?
Nipples. Sorry, I'm 12.
It's us. We brought food.
No, is that the girl with
Can we come in?
Put a shirt on, Erik. Sure. Sure. Hey guys, what is up? The thought of food made me relax a bit and forget about the circumstances I was under. The door opened to reveal the other incubi and their wives, holding plates of food. James and Iridessa, however, each carried 2 full plates, passing one to me and Erik.
Oh, thank you, James.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Oh.
You'll never guess who prepared it, though.
Do I want it? If it's Damien, I'm not eating it. My mind instantly went to Matthew or James. They're usually the ones who made food when we lived in the house. Still, it could have been Damien as well. No. But then my mind cycled to the rebel leaders and Diana. Is this really a thought we're having right now? Are we really mulling over this? Who cares? I guess I care a little bit. We were in their castle as their guests, so it would make sense if they made us food. Looking down my plate, I noted the selection of food. Fruit slices, bread, cheese, and some form of meat jerky. Mystery meat. It seemed native to the demon world, but it was indeed human food. Using process of elimination, I decided it was probably Diana.
How did you both sleep? Our rooms are on the opposite end of the hall, so we didn't know how you two were doing.
Do we not get an answer? Oh no! I'm gonna be troubled by this fact for the rest of my life.
Did you two get to catch up?
Oh.
Eh?
Oh, boy. Unfortunately not yet, but we're getting to that. Just don't worry about it. I'll tell you about it later, Matthew.
Please, Matthew. They obviously did more than catch up. A bit of Twilight Tango? Sensual salsa? I bet he dipped right in.
Oh, the innuendos. Oh, it's so beautiful. High five, both of you.
Well...
Yes, Mr. Playboy. Erik and I looked at each other, ignoring Norin's innuendo as we thought of the seriousness of the situation. What seriousness? That was such a good relief from the situation. I like you two. You two are on my top friend list. Did we want to tell them what was going on? Family! The family sticks together and tell each other stuff. Explain everything. I didn't want Erik to be the one to explain. That spirit was in my body, and it was my problem. I motioned to Erik to eat before turning to the group and starting my explanation. Well, there's something we found out last night. I haven't been in control of myself because of something.
What did you find out?
Wait, you're not saying that...
Shh, soccer mom. I'm on it. Don't worry about it.
Hey, are you pregnant?
Whoa, never got that thought in my head. Good job, Iridessa. Erik choked. Just like, oh, what? I quickly turned my head to see Erik covering his mouth and coughing almost violently. Most likely, trying not to suffocate on the food in his mouth. He quickly swallowed his food, thank God, and smiled painfully at the group. I'm okay, don't worry about it.
No. She is not pregnant.
Yeah, tell me more. Yeah. Okay, I'm glad you know that. Erik was right. This was a whole different matter. No, how much I wish. For a second, I wondered what Erik thought about the question, but more importantly, we needed to let the group know what was going on. Don't worry, not knocked up yet.
Is having a child that bad?
Get out of here! The room around me seemed to freeze at the spirit's voice. Oh, so it's not just in my head for once. Oh, thank God. As the spirit's voice appeared in the air, I looked around and noticed that everyone, including Erik, was still. What?
The icky man doesn't think so.
What do you mean? By Erik. In the middle of the room, the spirit appeared, making me gasp. It floated over to Erik and spun around his head, making him light up slightly.
Well, if she were pregnant, I'd be able to expand my legacy.
I am so confused. Is everybody else seeing this, or is it just in my head? Because I don't understand anymore. Erik? Was that really what he was thinking? He wanted children to expand? No. No, this was a trick. I glared out the orb as I finally moved back to the center of the room. You're lying to me. Whatever you're trying to do won't work.
I'm not doing anything. Just look at him.
I can't. He's not wearing a shirt. I'll get distracted. I did, wanting to prove the spirit wrong. However, my eyes couldn't lie to me. He had a nervous, almost pondering smile on his face, as if he was keeping quiet about his thoughts. Were the thoughts I heard really Eric's?
He's an icky man.
Oh my gosh. Would you stop saying that?
It's true. He wants to make babies with you. You heard so yourself.
Birds and the bees. You didn't say that, but in a way he did. Expand his legacy? Who says that? Then again, the look on his face couldn't lie to me. The more I gazed into his eyes, the more I could see a form of disappointment. Was I overthinking it?
He keeps touching you and trying to make you feel good. He wants to make you have his baby.
Oh my gosh, I can't handle this anymore. Stop it! It's not true. I didn't want to hear it. This was something I had to figure out myself. If this spirit was telling the truth, which I doubted, then I would deal with Erik when the time came. However, the primary problem was that this spirit was still inside of my body. Now, get out of here! I looked at the floating orb, seeing it bob up and down in place. So how long do you plan on sticking around?
Sticking around?
Staying near me, in my body, near where I am. How long do you plan on being in my body?
Oh. I don't know.
It didn't know. I wanted to stand up and let my body stay in its place. I guess in whatever phase the spirit had me in, I couldn't only shift my head but not move from my spot. That only proved that this wasn't in my head. You don't know?
I don't know.
How do you not know?
I just don't. I tried, but I can't get out.
Is she pregnant? This was proving to be useless. A childlike and innocent sounding the spirit was. This conversation was obviously going to go nowhere. I sighed and lowered my head, closing my
I
eyes.
was trapped when I died too. You know?
You know? Yeah, because I've been there. Okay, listen, I'm kind of curious. Huh? I looked up at the spirit, suddenly curious. They were trapped when they died? As the world began to move again around... Oh, so like the world froze and it was just her and me. Ah, okay. Around me, the orb vanished without a trace.
We have a different issue.
Are you blushing?
My princess is being haunted by a spirit.
Psst, Damien! Hey, Damien! I know it's wrong of me to ask of you this, but can you read Erik's thoughts for me? I know I've said I've hated you throughout these playthroughs, but you're a pretty cool dude. Pretty cool with your face.
A spirit? But I can't hear its thoughts.
Oh, but you can hear everything else. Okay, I'm sorry, Damien, you're cool. I'm sorry.
You can't catch everything, Damien.
High five, Twyla.
That doesn't make sense. If a spirit's inside of her body, we would have sensed it.
Are you humans? I don't understand. What are you guys?
That's the odd part. There's someone within her, but they are not powerful enough to be pinned down. It's as if...
Yeah.
It's a child.
Ding! And the light bulb is turned on. Yes, how did you know?
Spirits of children are extremely versatile, miss. They are smaller and less noticeable than a regular spirit, but their emotions run just as high, if not higher, making them more powerful.
So a child made you fight Erik?
I guess? Yes, it also called Erik the Icky Man. That's not funny.
Well, you were for a long time, dude. You can't deny it.
High five, Matthew.
That was before I met my princess.
I looked to Erik as he looked back to me. His eyes were full of love and appreciation as he smiled down at me, making a small blush run across my cheeks. Erik gently lifted his hand and caressed my cheek, making my face warm up at his touch.
You changed me for the better and turned me into a proper man. I would never wish for you to feel that I am disgusting.
I'll make a man out of you. Erik, kiss that beautiful, smooth baby cheek of his. Baby cheek? Yep, kiss that baby cheek. I don't know where I was going with that. Erik was so sweet to think of me. I loved him for everything that he was and is. He was occasionally perverted and seductive now and then, but that's the best part! But that was the part of the charm I fell for. He was still my Erik. Oh, yes. As I kissed his cheek, Erik gasped. Really that surprised? And I could feel a quick forming warmth appear on his cheek under my lips. I pulled away and noticed a red tint across his face, but a loving smile still plastered on his expression. He. Shut up.
Should we leave? They look like they're ready to make those babies now. Ow!
Who hit him? Who hit him? Who did it?
Knock it off, Matthew.
Damn, it would be hilarious if it was Sam. Oh, man. It's only now that I realize Matthew's a real pervert, isn't he? Before anyone could laugh, however, another knock appeared on the door. Who is it?
Diana, dear. May I come in?
Sure, come in. I like you. Sure, come on in. I like how she calls me dear. As Diana entered, the room became silent. Her guard, "Hey, Santa," followed behind Diana and stepped into the room as well, closing the door for her. He remained by the door as Diana looked at my plate.
Did you not enjoy breakfast? I can make you something else if you'd like.
Pancakes with chocolate chips. Ooh, and whipped cream. Diabetes? Yeah. Huh? I quickly looked down at my plate, realizing that I barely touched my food. I shook my head and looked up at Diana. No, this is great. We were just talking.
I see.
Look at snappy with me.
Thank you for breakfast, by the way.
My pleasure. I'm sorry that it's not much, but it's something to fill the stomach.
True that.
It's all good. It's better than that stew that everyone else was eating.
What is up with Matthew this playthrough? I don't know why, but I love Matthew even more in this one.
We had stew?
Trust me, don't worry about it. You're not missing much.
It's like an ogre puked in it.
Indeed. Anyways, I came by to ask you something, dear.
Sure, what? What?
What exactly is going on? What was controlling you last night when your husband came around?
I don't know. It's some kind of weird imp thing. Right, Diana still didn't know what happened. Oh, well, we were just talking about that. As I stared at Diana, I felt something inside me grow very happy. Why wouldn't I be? She was feeding us. Grew very happy. Okay. She was feeding us and making sure we were at least comfortable. Hell, she was going to break the curse in me and kill the demon lord. At least I hope she would. Still, something felt odd about the way I felt. I shook my head and looked to Erik. He nodded and looked at Diana, causing her attention to turn to him.
A rogue spirit has taken refuge in her body.
A spirit?
Shh, Sedo.
Shh. How? We felt no such.
It's a child, Diana.
A mere child? What kind of child has that much anger and sadness that they can control a human body?
My lady, if I may.
Go for it, Sedo. Everyone in the room, myself included, looked at Sedo, who had stepped forward by Diana's side. Diana took a moment to watch Sedo, measuring his intentions before nodding and stepping back. With a nod, Sedo turned away from her and looked at me. What are you gonna do? Sedo stepped once more in my direction before bringing his spear up and pointing it at me. What the?
What are you doing?
That's a sharp and pointy thing. Don't point it at me. Without answering, Sedo continued to stare at me intensely. The spear in his hand began to glow a bright gold and white color, making me that much more concerned.
Sanctus et Husexiamentes!
That sounded majestic. Before anyone could jump at Sedo, the guard leaned forward merely an inch toward me, pressing the spear close to my body. Please get that away from me. It's very sharp. However, it was stopped by a bright white magic barrier that suddenly formed around my body, and the sound of a child screaming. The cry rang violently in my head, causing me to grip my head in pain. Ow! It hurts. It's loud. Ow! God.
Princess!
Erik reached for me, but found himself pressing against the shield as well. Unable to get close to me, the sharp tip of Seto's spear pressed against the barrier, causing white ripples to wave from it. Seto pushed his spear harder, trying to pierce through. The screaming, however, intensified in my head with each push. What was that?
What in the seven hells?
I wish I knew!
I've never seen magic like that before.
Even Diana's like, why?
I can hear it. The spirit is crying inside her head. It's hurting her.
Shh, Damien, nobody asked. Damn it. I'm so mean to Damien, holy crap. Just roasting him.
The hell was that?
Seto finally pulled back and stepped away from me. Dude, you got some explaining to do. The glow around his spear vanished as Seto looked at Diana. The screaming in my mind stopped at last, and the barrier finally vanished, allowing Erik to wrap his arms around me and pull me close to him.
This spirit is extremely powerful, my lady. Powerful enough to block holy magic.
And what if you've gotten through that barrier, huh? Stabbed me right through the gut.
That's impossible.
I quivered in Erik's embrace, feeling the after effects of the sudden event hit my body like a wave. My nerves were vibrating, and every hair in my body was on edge. My eyes, despite this, looked to Diana and Sarah. Diana looked at me and suddenly glared. What did I do?
Clever spirit.
Oh.
Clever spirit? What do you mean?
Look at who the spirit is haunting. She's practically bleeding endless waves of energy. The spirit must be consuming it to survive and use its abilities.
The entire room looked to me, and I could see it in their eyes that she was right. Was I really that full of energy? What kind of energy? How did the amount of energy I had affect this?
Spirit is a demon, then?
Only a demon could make a barrier like that.
But a barrier against holy magic?
It's unheard of.
Not necessarily. If a demon is powerful enough, they can block holy magic, but it takes a large amount of energy.
We have to find another way to expel it. If holy magic won't work, something else will. Spirits can't bind themselves to living bodies forever.
Not unless they die. Ooh, that was dark.
Yeah. We'll get this spirit out one way or another.
So many problems. We would? The spirit was powerful enough to fight back against holy magic, which apparently was powerful on its own. I became nervous once again. Erik, feeling me tense up in his arms, gave my body a small squeeze and comfort. I closed my eyes, feeling his warmth slowly but surely calming me down.
Whatever the case may be, I'm sure we've at least weakened it. It shouldn't attempt to control you again, at least for today.
Thank you. Oh, look how they got close, like, baby! Diana ran a hand through her hair and looked around the room, pressing her lips into a fine line.
So, about all of you participating in the war, you all obviously need to train.
I like how we just moved on from that subject, alright. Everyone nodded in agreement to Diana's statement. While we weren't in battle ready, we still needed to at least know how to defend ourselves. Diana, however, looked to me.
You, most of all.
Oh, damn. Me? I was suddenly confused. How come I was the odd one out that had to be ready the most? The last thing I remembered about me training was that Diana was against the idea altogether. Diana sighed and rubbed her temple.
Apparently, there are guidelines to breaking this curse. Not only do we have to kill the Demon Lord, but you have to be nearby when it happens for the curse to even break.
That makes no sense. Where did you learn this?
Shadow. He spent the night trying to find alternative ways to break your curse. Unfortunately, we didn't find anything of the sort, but we found the guidelines to breaking it.
Well, this still makes no sense.
Even while it doesn't, it's still better to be safe than sorry. I don't want to kill him and then still have you stuck here because of an error.
I could only sigh and take it in, so I had to be there when the Demon Lord fell. Great! Diana waved her hand dismissively through the air, breaking my potential thoughts.
Anyway, we can't have you dying on the way there, and we can't monitor you when we're in battle. You should at least know how to defend yourself. That's why we've come up with a solution.
Huh? What solution?
Simple. The other rebel leaders and Sarah have agreed that if you'd like a trainer to enhance your abilities, you can train with one of them.
I stared, seeing Seto step forward with a nod.
Each of the leaders is proficient in a different area of magic and battle strategy, good enough for self-defense. I can't speak for the others, but I can assure you that with Sarah's skill and training methods, you will be well prepared by the time the siege arrives.
Seto nodded and bowed to me slightly. While I was flattered at the idea, did I really need a trainer? I knew Taekwondo, and I at least knew how to defend myself, demon or not. And then again, we were in the demon world where magic was the norm. Diana ran a hand through her hair, looking to the side as she listed off each leader and their skills.
Sergeant is a brute demon, bred from a nomadic tribe. He most likely teach you the ways of the brute demon, using your fists and speed to keep you alive. Shadow is, by definition, a shadow demon, so he'd probably teach you about dark magic, light manipulation, and assassination. Rabbit is a wild magic-based animal demon, using her animal-focused energy as her weapon. She'd probably teach you how to do the same. Fae? I am honestly not sure. I know they can change their size and use elemental magic as well, but to be honest, I do not know what they would teach you.
What did I just... Oh, that's no, that was skip. Shadow done. Shadow done. Rabbit done. Don't even try not doing that. Choose Fae. Choose Fae. Dana raised an eyebrow but nodded. Fae was a wild card, so who knew what they teach me? Still, my curiosity was getting the better of me. I knew it. I'd try it. With that, Diana turned on her heel and left the room.
Finish eating. Afterwards, you should start training.
Everyone in the room nodded their affirmation as Diana and Seto left.
Well, it looks like we'll be busy for the next couple of days.
This'll be fun. Man, training's gonna suck.
It'll be worth it, though.
Damien's right.
As we all finished eating, everyone left to either train or do things on their own. I left to start my own work, determined to be prepared for what was to come. The Demon Lord wasn't going to win. I wouldn't let him. Ooh, I'm gonna end it here, guys, but I'm gonna continue with the next episode. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Damn, I hate saying a word twice. See you guys later. Damn it.